Hey howdy everybody, welcome back to our old school RuneScape Road to 1 Billion series. I'm your host, Millennium RPGs, and let's go ahead and kick off episode 6. In order to get this ball rolling though, we're going to go ahead and do a brief review of last episode, in which case we finished off the majority of our non-membership quests. What's left we'll do later on into membership. We emptied out our bank, we bought a bond, we did a clue scroll, we did some leveling, and I'm sure there's a few other details I'm leaving out, but you can always go back to the episode to see it yourself. On to the plans for this episode though. I have intentions of stopping by Hans from the get-go to check out our end-game time to see how long it took for us to get to membership. Also, in an effort to keep the account progression going, we're going to go ahead and take care of another couple of quests inside of membership. And of course, as per the direction of this playthrough, I'd like to go ahead and dip my toes into the members' money-making methods in hopes to at least double my bank. If I get a little bit more than that, I definitely wouldn't complain. Among these money-making methods I'd like to try, there is a boss fight of sorts. I suppose you could call it a mini game really, but it's one of the earliest boss fights that you can get into as a member. But in order to get to this fight, we're going to have to get one of our levels up, so we'll be doing some leveling this episode. But by the end of the episode, we should be able to and have done a few of the fights. That should just about wrap up our plans for this episode. If you enjoy, hope you'll like, share, and subscribe, but we're going to go ahead and head over to Lumbridge and meet up with Hans. I'll catch you there. Hey there, you stallion. How many days young am I? I see you're taking into account the 20 hours that I was still in the womb, but honestly, that's fine. 2 days isn't half bad to have gotten a bond, so I'm not going to complain now. Alright, well 2 days of non-membership in-game time is enough for me, so I'm going to go ahead and transition into the account's official infancy by activating my bond. I'll see you on the other side. Alright, it always feels nice logging into your first membership world on an account. We're going to go ahead and move forward, but achievement get. If you'd excuse me while I go ahead and test membership by robbing from the innocent. And yeah, all my skills are unlocked, and they can't feed their children, so let's go ahead and proceed with the episode. First, I'd really like to point out that the game awards you for having stolen from the poor. Wow. Alright, our first trip to the Grand Exchange for the episode, and we're going to pull out our money, and we're going to invest it into some goat horns. It's the first thing that popped into my head of having no requirements to get started making money in membership, so we'll see how it swings. Let me just go ahead and double check some margins, and I'll catch y'all after I'm done. I've gone ahead and bought and sold both the goat horns and goat horn dust respectively. I instant bought them and instant sold them, so they are bought for more expensive than I'm actually going to be buying them, and they are sold for less than what I'm actually going to sell them for, but I'm going to go ahead and use this to profit off of. Looks like we were able to go ahead and set up to buy 7,500 goat horns, but while we're waiting for those to come in, because I'm not instant buying them, we're going to go ahead and knock out some of the quests for the day. While we were here picking up stuff for the quest for the day, I figured why not grab some stuff for future quests, because I'm going to need them in the future anyways, so 2 birds with 1 stone. But I'm going to go ahead and knock out the 2 quests that we have planned for the day. I'll see you when they're over and done with. Now for anybody wondering why we're putting any kind of emphasis on questing in a Road to 1 Billion playthrough, it's simply because I don't want to get lazy in the future, and nobody likes to have to do all their quests at once. So I figured I'd trickle in a couple each episode, and by the end, we will have gotten most of our quests done without having stressed out too much over it. We're going to need to get the quest done for fast travel methods in the future, which we'll be using for money making methods in the future. 2 birds, 1 stone, may as well get it done. Oh hey, looks like since we completed the clue scroll that was in the bank last episode, we get our clue scroll from the X marks the spot quest. Cool. Client of Core End is complete. We'll be using this one for several money makers in the future, but for now, we'll be moving on to the next quest. The next quest I'd like to go ahead and take care of is the Waterfall quest. I would like to get into Slayer, and in order to do that, I prefer to have my combat levels up. Waterfall quest is great for getting your melee levels up, so I'll go ahead and knock it out. I'll see you when it's done and over with. Before we head out, I'd like to go ahead and use my lamps on agility. Now that we are finally a member, we can do so. So let's go ahead and see how many levels we get out of this. Looks like we were able to snag 5 free levels off of that lamp. Hopefully we can get the same or close to it off the second lamp. We got another 4 levels off of this second lamp. Unfortunately, that's not enough to skip the gnome agility course. So it looks like we're going to have to head back there later on to get 1 more level. See, 2 quests today isn't so bad. I've already knocked out the last one for the day. We're going to move into profits. First, I'd like to see how many levels we get off of this experience. Excellent. Looks like we got our strength up to 32. And our attack got up to 35. So that was a perfect amount of experience as far as I'm concerned. Plenty of free levels. Now that'll make Slayer easier to get into. Come to think of it, though let me double check. Yes, you need level 30 attack for adamant weaponry. So it looks like we'll have a weaponry upgrade for going into Slayer. And it looks like the vast majority of our goat horns just came in, so let's go ahead and get into profiting. Genie just disappeared on us, but we'll go ahead and dump this lamp into some agility experience, and I'll catch you at the Grand Exchange. Just over 400,000 spent on these goat horns. We'll go ahead and grind up as many as I can stomach, and then we'll sell back the rest. I'll catch you after I'm done. Here we are an hour later. I've ended up grinding up only half the goat horns that we had available to us. I decided not to use the touchscreen functionality on my laptop because I'm unsure of how the bot detection works. I don't want it to be detected as though I were using a bot. It just wouldn't be worth the risk. Now I'm going to go ahead and sell everything back to the Grand Exchange and see what profit we did turn. Even after not having been as efficient with our time as we could have been had we used the touchscreen functionality of the laptop, we ended up turning 250k in the past hour. Personally, this was an incredibly grindy, no pun intended, method of making money. I would prefer to stick with feathers in the future if I had to choose one of the two, but you could choose for yourself as to whether or not this is a moneymaker that you want to be putting your time into. Now while we wait for those goat supplies to sell, we're going to get our fire making up to level 50. We need it to be level 50 to get into the minigame Winter Tot, and I prefer that to be our next money making method. This would be the moneymaker that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode that could be considered a minigame or a boss fight, but I'll be getting into that. I'll need to get through the restriction of fire making. Beyond that, we already have Corsair Curse complete, so we should be able to hop into it as soon as we get our fire making up. Now, without further ado, it's been a while since we had ourselves a good leveling montage. This one will be decently long, so I hope you enjoy it. Level, 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 level. I was hoping for the mask, but we got a glass wall emote unlock. Level, 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 level up, another level, 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 level up, level, level. Past halfway now, level up. All of our goat horns have sold. Another level. Oops, ruined the pop-up, but there's a level. Level, 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 level. Ooh, another level. Level behind a wall. Level, level, level. Only 10 levels to go. 9, 8. Goat horn dust has sold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there's the last of all the requirements met. We can now go hop into Winter Tot. Now we need to go ahead and grab ourselves some warm clothing, so we'll go find the easiest of the Clue Hunters gear, and I'll see you when we have. I've got the warm clothes I'm going to need for the Winter Tot. Now it's time to head back to the Grand Exchange to pick up some food, and we should be ready to roll. Also, I made out with a toad. Back here at the Grand Exchange, we're going to pick ourselves up some food, because I only have a little bit of salmon left in the bank. I'll show you real quick. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and grab about 1,000 more salmon, and then we'll grab ourselves a games necklace to be able to get to the Winter Tot, and probably a ring of wealth so we can get back to the Grand Exchange. I'll see y'all at Winter Tot. I'm here at the Winter Tot. I'm going to go ahead and record the first and last fight so you can compare how it started, which should be pretty rough since it's been a while since I've been in this fight, to how it is at the end, which should be slightly improved, though probably not perfectly efficient. I'm going to try to do this for about an hour, but since I've got some other things I like to take care of on the account tonight, it may not last that long, but we'll see how many crates we end up with by the end of it. Going into this first fight, I clearly did not need to bring that much food. I also missed a lot of the braziers going out and a lot of the braziers breaking. Beyond this, using 2 of the only inventory spaces that I had available to me to pick up those potions was a mistake on my part, especially seeing as I did not end up using them throughout the entire first fight. Beyond this, there's not much else to say for this fight. There's only a few places that you can make mistakes, and if you're like me, you'll make mistakes in all of them. But after the first couple of fights through here, you'll get the hang of it, and it's just rinse and repeat from that point forward. Here we are at the start of the next fight. You could tell that I was sitting at the fire waiting for it to start this time. Beyond that, I also did not bring as much food as I did the first time. I also caught more of the fires that were going out and being damaged. And I just left the potions where they were inside the crate. Figured I wouldn't bother with them. I kind of got out of the habit of even trying to grab them to begin with. I believe I did one more run after this one, but by this point I was already getting a crate at the end of each run. But again, this is not a complicated minigame, boss fight, whatever you want to call it. Once you get the hang of it, you should be able to get a crate at the end of every game. So after nearly 40 minutes in the Winter Tot, we got 5 crates. I highly doubt, though I hope that we can make 200k that we'll need to reach our goal for having doubled the bank account from last episode. That, or I'd settle for any equipment that you can only get from this event, especially the tome. But let's go ahead and crack them open and see what we get out of it. Not gonna lie, not off to a great start. Another crate that's just basura. 3/5 of the way done and losing hope. I wouldn't say that restores hope, but it's definitely on an upswing. And I'm not someone who complains about having received RANRs, but we definitely did not turn 200k on these crates, which is a shame, but not unexpected. Yeah, not 200k. Moving on. So when all is said and done, it looks like we're about 80k short of what I'd call close enough to doubling last episode's bank value. We didn't reach the goal that we had for the day for doubling it, though this is still progression of the account, so I'm not going to complain. Back here at the Grand Exchange, we obviously, as already stated, did not meet the goal for doubling last episode's bank value, though we did come relatively close, which is disappointing, though not in itself discouraging. This is just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But you've already seen the bank at the winter tot, so let's go ahead and move into our total levels. Now we'll go ahead and pop into our total levels. I admittedly never actually calculated how many levels we would end up with by the end of the episode, so the total level definitely surprises me here. With a combination of fire-making levels as a requirement for the winter tot, as well as the combat levels, the attack and strength levels that we got from the waterfall quest, we actually raised our total levels significantly. And that's just about everything I've got to say about my total levels. I surprised myself with how high they got. Moving on to quest points. Now as for the quests, we did 2 of them today, both the waterfall quest and the clan of Corinth. They both had an effect on our progression for the day. Waterfall quest for our total levels, as well as for the future. The combat levels will be helpful for getting into Slayer. And the clan of Corinth helped us get into the winter tot today, also increased our total levels for fire making. And of course both quests added to our total quest points, though only by a hair each, but every little bit counts. That's all I have to say on quest points, so let's go ahead and move into wrapping up the episode. I'd like to go ahead and start this off by apologizing for not having met the goal that I set out with for the day. Though that having been said, if you did enjoy the episode, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, letting me know whether or not you were disappointed by the turnouts for our profit for the day. I would also like to say that I myself am not disappointed by the turnouts of our profit for the day. It's still account progression, even though we were only 80k off from having met the goal of doubling last episode's bank value. This is, of course, the reality of not being hyper efficient with what you're doing and not doing an abundance of research before hopping into something. This is the reality of testing something, and sometimes those tests will fail. All that I can say is that I hope to do better for next episode, though with the moneymaker that I have planned for next episode, I have a suspicion that it will more than make up for the lackings of today's episode. As far as the moneymakers from this episode goes, I will probably never be doing goat horns again. That is incredibly tedious, or click intensive at the very least. You will sooner find me trying to farm feathers again, rather than grinding goat horns. On the subject of winter tot, I have a lot to improve on, though I can see myself going back there in the future, not necessarily as a moneymaker, but rather as I need that tome. I have plans for it for future moneymakers. Not to mention the experience that you get for fire making from winter tot is among the best in the game, so obviously if I ever intend to 99 that, I'm going to be returning there. But then again, deliberately maxing out levels doesn't really fall into the spectrum of this playthrough, so that perk is kind of irrelevant. Now, you may have also noticed the extreme tardiness of the upload of this video. That comes with a combination of having taken the holiday on the 5th for the 4th, and if that doesn't confuse you, I commend you, as well as some additions I'm trying to make in the editing process of these videos. I do apologize for the tardiness, but I am trying to currently improve what I am uploading to YouTube, so please bear with me, and I thank you very much. Now, with everything said and done, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video with be safe out there, and toodles.